Hi, this video is looking at how to write a really fantastic article. The theme of this question is what you would do on your perfect day. So this is the question we're going to look at throughout the video. The school or college magazine is inviting students to submit articles entitled My Perfect Day. You must write about your ideal morning, afternoon and evening. You can discuss some of the following: who you're with, what you're doing, where you're doing it, and why it matters to you. So maybe as the video goes on, have a think to yourself about what your perfect day would be like. Don't overthink. I would take it as almost 3 activities, one for the morning, afternoon and evening, that are realistic but would be a really fantastic day for you. So in the exam you always get 2 types of question, a personal one and an opinion one. So the personal one is the one we're doing. An opinion of an article might be for and against school uniform, tattoos in the workplace, some kind of issue that you have to give your opinion on. So remember, you do 2 writing tasks in an hour for EduCAS. If you have extra time, 1 hour 15, and you have to write 300 to 400 words for each task. You get a possible 6 text types that are here. The ones I've highlighted, letter, speech and article, they come up 90% of the time. So you're probably going to get two of those 3. The last exam was a letter and an article. Letter or a speech actually. So there's actually quite a good chance you get a letter and an article this time. So yeah, those are the ones you need to cover. So what is an article? A piece of writing included in a newspaper or magazine. It's not the headline news, okay? So you're never going to be writing like an article on politics or some sort of crime. It'll be a topic that you've been asked to give your opinion on. In this case, on this video here, is social media harming the mental health of teenagers? This article is about getting teenagers fit and healthy. This one is how to take a great selfie. And this one is actually about the recent Netflix show Adolescence and the panic that parents are feeling after watching it for their teenagers. You can give any opinion you like, for and against, but you must be convincing in your view. Okay, if I put it in a quotation marks, it means it's from the examiner. This is actually from the exam board. They say that format layout is not that important. So an article, review, leaflet, a title, just a heading is absolutely fine. If you want to push yourself up a little bit more, perhaps have a catchy subheading for each main paragraph. Yeah, that might gain you a few extra marks too. The goal of your article is to persuade the reader to agree with you. So in this case, you're persuading the reader that your perfect day is perfect. Yeah, that they should almost be envious of your day. Okay, so remember, there's the question again. Let's have a think about what you'd want to do. Okay, example structure, not just for this question, but for any question in the exam. You have an intro and a conclusion of 2 sentences, and then where you're really going to get your grade 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is your middle paragraphs. Try to make them really, really detailed, 1 paragraph per point. So one of my students, I'll show you what she did as an example. In the morning, she wants to have a breakfast feast on the beach, then a swim in the ocean, and then water slides on the beach. Yeah, I think she's probably thinking this is going to be in the summer. And in the afternoon, she wants to go and watch England play at Wembley and meet the players afterwards. And in the evening, she wants to watch Adele in concert with her best friend. So again, even though this is sort of it's quite ambitious in terms of what she would do, it is based in some kind of realism. So remember, 1 point per paragraph. Don't do what this person did where they put all their morning, afternoon and evening in one big chunk. I mean, this paragraph is really easy to do for this question because you literally just do 1 paragraph for each part of the day. So here's your structure for an article. You've got a catchy heading with a catchy subheadings, intro, conclusion, and 3 main points. Okay, so a plan, you should always do a plan before. The examiner says that it's really important for you to structure, and just from my past experience of marking exam papers, it's so obvious when someone's planned and someone's not planned. It really, really is going to help you. Literally this morning I did a mock with my students, and someone who never planned properly for the first time, and at the end she said, oh, it's so much easier when I plan. Okay, intro, conclusion, you're going to just say what you're going to be talking about and then sum up what you've been talking about with your perfect day. My first main paragraph is going to be in the morning with the beach. My afternoon is going to be at Wembley and the football. My evening at Dell. So put this on your answer paper so the examiner can see you've done it. And there you go. There's my structure. Okay. So this is what you don't want to do. This is a student who got a 6 out of 20, which is probably a low grade 3. So again, not someone who's got a grade 1. There's lots of basic errors, but this is what you don't want to do in your exam. So the examiner always says aim for 3 clear and developed points in a logical way. Your response should explore and develop your ideas in enough detail, keyword detail, And brief, so brief and undeveloped content is self-penalising, meaning you're going to lose marks. And obviously check your SPAG. If you look at this one to the right, lots of basic SPAGs. So there's apostrophes missing. It even starts with their is ups and downs as opposed to their ups and downs. But the main thing I've shown you with this one, the main thing I want to get over is the paragraphs. So instead of 3 central paragraphs of 7 to 10 sentences, this person's done 5 paragraphs, which are really underdeveloped. So the top one is 2 sentences, then 3 sentences, then 1 sentence, and 2 sentences. So don't do this. This is what we don't want. And this is what we do want, where this person's got a title, they've got an intro, conclusion, they've got 3 detailed paragraphs. Okay, so basic SPAG. This is something you've got to be really aware of. You're not going to get a grade 4 really if you can't do if you can't do the stuff on the left correctly. And then those of you who are looking for more, and even the grade 4 guys, once you get the basic SPAG sorted, you can push yourself with the advanced SPAG. So catchy headings, okay? Try to think of something interesting. So use dress, which I teach in my lessons, or deforest or aforest, so in other words, language features. So I could just put for this question as my subheadings, morning, afternoon, evening. That is okay. Yep, so that is okay. But if you gain an extra mark, maybe push yourself, let's do some catchy subheadings. So instead of morning beach, I've put flip-flops and a feast because I'm having dinner. Instead of afternoon and football, I'm doing football meet and greet because I'm meeting the players. And instead of just putting evening Adele, I've put awesome Adele. So not quite an alliteration, but at least it shows the examiner I've made some effort. So again, that would really impress the examiner. Okay, topic sentence, really important, okay? So topic sentences, basically your first sentence of your central paragraph saying what it's going to be about. Really important. Make sure it's a short and focused. So it looks bigger on this piece, on this writing here, just because I've enlarged the font. But really short, really focused topic sentence. The rest of the paragraph, make your sentence as long as you like, as long as it's punctuated correctly. But first sentence, really make it clear what it's about. The examiner says paragraphs with topic sentences are very useful. It's vital to organise your work and introduce ideas. This is a bad example where the paragraph was meant to be about a 4D video about the Blackpool Tower. This was a question about a good day out in the UK. Well, actually, it's 3 lines for a start, for a sentence, which is too long. But also, it's a bit complicated. It actually makes it sound like the Blackpool Tower is what they're talking about, not this video. So they've put the Blackpool Tower is definitely the most iconic place within Blackpool. And now, rather than going and standing up a tower for a couple of minutes, you get the Blackpool Tower experience, which is always 10 minutes, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so it's far too long. It's not even a correct sentence, and that would get marked down. So make it really nice and clear. So for my ones, for the morning at the beach, I put, firstly, I would spend my perfect morning at the beach. Following the beach, I would watch England play football in the afternoon. So following the beach is better than just putting secondly, because I'm linking my paragraphs. Yeah, I'm linking that I've talked about the beach. Yeah, and then I put finally, I would end my day by watching Adele perform. So again, nice and simple, nice and clear. You can be lots more detailed and complicated in the remaining part of the paragraph, but first sentence, nice and clear. If I want to push myself, use language features in my topic sentence. So I've put, what could top a beach breakfast and watching a great game of footy, watching Adele perform. So I've got my short sentence, I've got a rhetorical question, but again, I've linked back to my previous paragraphs with that topic sentence. Okay, so I would always make sure little task you do is, if you plan a question and see if you can plan your topic sentences nice and simple. Okay, so techniques that you can use, all the language features really, but I would say the main ones are rhetorical questions and direct address, so using we and you. You can use a statistic, but I would say maybe only one and make sure it's realistic. Okay, so I'll read you a sample paragraph. This is what my student did about the beach. She put, firstly, I would spend my perfect morning at the beach. I've highlighted it because it's the topic sentence. I would love to wake up to the sound of the ocean with the feel of sand between my toes. I read in a recent survey, but it's proven that food always tastes better on the beach, semicolon. I can believe it. Famished and groggy from a long sleep, I would demolish my breakfast of a full English, in brackets with extra beans, and American-style pancakes. It would be delicious. I would then go for a relaxing swim to burn off the calories in water so clear and clean that I can see all the fish. Who on earth wants to be touched with lots of seaweed? Not me. That would bring my morning to a magical end. Okay. So if we examine that paragraph a bit more, we've got a catchy subheading. We've also got a topic sentence in yellow. I've got a bit higher level SPAG. I've not just put full stops and commas. I've got a bracket and I've got a semicolon. I've got a few short sentences used for effect in dark blue. I've got a made up statistic. I read in a recent survey, blah, blah, blah. The student made them up, but it sounds pretty believable. We've got 2 adjectives as a sentence starter, which is a really good thing to do to impress the examiner. So instead of just starting your sentence with I or he or she, 2 adjectives as a sentence start is going to push our SPAG grades up. We've got a rhetorical question in purple, and we've got some emotive language. So I haven't just put I would eat my breakfast, I would demolish my breakfast, telling the examiner that I'm really going for it with my food. Okay. And the other thing that is really good to do, that you should all do, is in the final 2 or 3 sentences of your paragraph, bring in an anecdote. Okay. Remember, anecdote is a little short and interesting story that should be real. It will be more convincing if it's real, or you could make one up, but I would always say go for one that's real. If you are going to make it up, make sure it's believable and relevant. Anecdotes are really good at helping your writing stand out and grabbing the reader's attention. Also, if you're someone who struggles for word count a little bit, this is really going to help you. Okay, so that's what my paragraph started with. So add your anecdotes. If I add my anecdote now, since I was a kid, I've always loved the beach. It's my favourite place to relax and have fun with my friends. I remember on the last day of school, we had a beach barbecue, and it was one of the funniest times of my life. Spending my magical morning by the sea would remind me of that night. Okay, so I've gone from that, which is okay word count wise, but I've gone to that, which is a really great paragraph. Okay, so this paragraph consists of a short and focused topic sentence. Then I've explained what I would do in the morning of my perfect day, and then I got my anecdote about the beach. Remember, your anecdote should prove your topic sentence. The anecdote should prove that this is a really great way to spend your perfect morning. Okay, so there. I've got all my language features, and I've added my anecdote. An anecdote class as a language feature. So I've almost got 7 or 8 things in one paragraph. 13 sentences now. Okay, here's an intro. Again, intros, you're not really going to lose your grade 4, 5, 6 on an intro. I would just say be clear and just say what you're going to be talking about. The exam question does help. So I put my perfect day, which is the title that's been given to me. I've been asked to write an article on my ideal morning, afternoon, and night. I'm going to make you jealous with my perfect choices. So my yellow, it's always good to remind the examiner that you know what text type you're doing. An article, then morning, afternoon, night, I've nicked that from the question, and in the second sentence I've maybe tried to do something a bit catchy. I'm doing direct address to the reader. I'm going to make you jealous with how great my day is. Okay, so here are some exemplars. Okay, so we're quickly going to go through these. I basically picked one that is a grade 4, one that is a grade 3, one that's a grade 4, and one that's probably around a grade 8. Okay, so you don't need to correct it. This is my students, but this one got 6 out of 20. The examiner says it shows awareness of the purpose of the task, offers some information, but has lots of basic errors. That's the main problem with it. This is the one I showed you earlier, where instead of 3 central paragraphs, it's got 5 really small paragraphs. Okay, so you could think to yourself, these questions, this is what I've got my students to do, but I would say, does it meet the word count? No. Are there basic SPAG errors? Yes. Do they use ambitious SPAG? They use a bracket, but not anything else. Does it have an interesting heading? No. Is it split into paragraphs properly? No. Does it tell us in the intro where they've picked? Sort of, it's the countryside. Do the main paragraphs have short, clear topic sentences? No. Do the main paragraphs have 6 to 7 sentences? No. Do they use language features? No. So basically all the questions that you should answer yes to, we're answering no to with this one. It's not doing anything that it should be doing. Okay, and that's why it's got a rubbish mark. Okay, so this one, okay, what did this one get? This would have been around 12 out of 20, so probably low, grade 5, grade 4. Does it meet the word count? Yes. Are there basic SPAG errors? Still a few, but not a lot. Does it have a catchy heading? No. Is it split into relevant paragraphs? Yes. Is the intro paragraph telling us where they're going? Yes, it tells us it's going to Brighton. Do the main paragraphs have short, clear topic sentences? Not particularly, so that could be improved. Does the main paragraph have 6 to 10 sentences? Yes. Do they have language features? Some. So there you go. So why is it a good piece of writing? Well, like I say, it could definitely be improved, but it's got the word count, it's got detailed central paragraphs, it's logical, it sticks to the question, but it could be improved. But if that's something that's getting a grade 5, you should be looking to beat that. Okay. And last one. This one would have been like grade 7 or 8, it got 18 out of 20. Doesn't meet the word count yet. Are there basic SPAG errors? There's hardly a few, and they're all apostrophes actually. So it's interesting, even with someone who's getting grade 8, still the apostrophe errors happens. The one in the first paragraph where I put the little red mark, there should have been a bracket, a full stop after the bracket ended. Are there basic SPAG errors? Not really. Do they use ambitious SPAG? Yeah. They've got brackets, they've got a semicolon. Do they have a catchy heading? Yes. Manchester : fun for all the family. Pretty good. Is it split into relevant paragraphs? Yep. Is the intro given where they're talking about? Yeah, it says it's Manchester. Do the main paragraphs have a short, clear, focused topic sentence? Ish. So again, I think that could be improved. I think a couple of them are good, but the others could be improved. Do the main paragraphs have 6 to 10 sentences? Yeah. I would argue though that it's got 4 central paragraphs. I think it would have got 20 out of 20 if the person would have stuck to 3 central paragraphs with a few more sentences in each. Do they have language features? Yep, they do. They've probably got about 6 rhetorical questions. Even the very first line, need a break from that tedious office job, or the kids are getting too crazy, ? Go to Manchester. So it is really, really good. Okay. So what are the main differences between the worst and the best piece of work? List 5 things. So if I just do the best piece of work, I would say it's very few SPAG errors, interesting heading, 5 paragraphs with 3 detailed paragraphs. Again, that's actually got 6. Different kinds of sentences. Language features, mainly lots of rhetorical questions and direct address. And I would think those are the ones that you should always go to. You can do a statistic, but don't get bogged down in that. Rhetorical question, direct address are the main ones. How could it have been improved? This is even for the really good one. It didn't have any anecdotes. That might have got it to 20 out of 20. Didn't really use semicolons. And they could have used 2 adjectives as a sentence starter. Yeah, fascinating, beautiful. The cathedral has thousands of visitors each year. That's better than just putting the cathedral has thousands of visitors each year. So again, there's a few ways it could have been improved. Okay, as you write, I'd always say there are 3 questions to ask yourself. Is this interesting? Is it accurate? And have I used the correct layout? But remember, the layout isn't really that important. Even the headings would be doable. Okay, so there's the question. Feel free to have a go at this and maybe give it to your teacher. There's your structure, example paragraphs with language features in. Okay, and to end the video, essential stuff. So clear intro of 2 sentences, detailed main paragraph 7 to 10, short focused topic sentences, use some language features, use anecdotal writing in your main paragraph. So if you look at my bottom left, my green, my little story, and use 1 semicolon. That grade 4 or 5, you need to, they are essential. Add to that, if you're going for higher grades, 2 adjectives to start a sentence, brackets, catchy subheadings to your main paragraphs, use all of the language techniques, and use humour when appropriate. Okay, hope that's been of some use to you. And yeah, like I say, great chance of getting an article in the exam. So hopefully with this video, you'll really ace it and get a fantastic grade.